Hey, friends and family and traders from around the world. Hope you're doing excellent. This is Jerremy Alexander Newsome with Real Life Trading, and today is Wednesday, which is January the 28th. February is fast approaching, and we had some great earnings today. Let's check out Apple. And Apple, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty good on the gap. I called for a gap up, and it happened. Now, before you think, oh my gosh, this guy's pretty decent. Pretty decent's a good definition. I've been 50% pretty much exactly on earnings, 50-50, which, you know, it's the flip of a coin. So, yeah, it gapped up. That's great. But let's talk about the gap. And here was kind of my analysis from the other day. If we gap below 103, we didn't, so let's talk about that. If we gap above 114.50 but below 20, it's a bullish gap. What an amazing, amazing opportunity on Apple today that we had for some bullish trades. On Apple, the reason that this is such a bullish gap is because the prior candles were black. So notice, yesterday's candle, fully black. The day before, fully black. Resistance at approximately 114.50. So the fact that we gapped above that, anyone who went bearish the last 2 days is what I refer to as trapped, meaning they are losing money. And if they're losing money and they're bearish, they're going to be forced to buy to close or buy to cover. And that's exactly what's creating the lower wick today on Apple, that buying pressure from short traders who are trapped. So my next target on Apple is going to be about 120, in which case I think it'll pause for a little bit. And if we break through 120, ladies and gentlemen, very, very good chance we are going to be gone with the wind on Apple. So I'll be keeping a very, very close eye on it. If we come into the 5-minute chart, just a ridiculously good buying opportunity on Apple on the 5-minute down here at the low of the day with a hammer. Just stupid easy. And I don't use that term stupid very often, but that was just phenomenal. Gorgeous, gorgeous gap. And I got to give a shout out to Brad Reed. Brad made one of the most legendary calls I've seen in a long time on a day trading room this week. Well, ever, really. And it was a 1-minute play on Apple. So we were looking at this as a perfect gap and go, which it was, and it did not trigger the 2-minute high, right? We didn't trigger that high for a while. This is kind of the resistance for the rest of the day. But, you know, the trade pulled in. We were expecting it to bounce. Here was the hammerish candle. He had his entry, he had his stop, he had a 2-hour target right about there. Just boom. I mean, that was legendary. It's phenomenal, phenomenal call. Great job, Brad. And again, on the 5-minute, you had a second opportunity to get in at the low of the day with a hammer. So just a really, really good, great trade. Boeing, another good gap today. Boeing, I gotta give a shout out to Jonathan Higgins and Brian Paul, who both did very, very well. We talked about this yesterday in the trading floor. Talked about a gap above would be bullish. Here's your resistance, right? And we wanted to retest on that particular gap. So the gap up, here's the 5-minute candle, and you can see that we had a good little pennant right there. That's where Jonathan Higgins began to get in bullish, and then we had a good breakout there. Here's where we came into the 10 exponential moving average and bounce. So there's another great buying opportunity right there. Here's another pretty decent buying opportunity right here. So Jonathan Higgins, I think, is up about 4 or 5, 6R on this particular trade. Just absolutely going hammer. Phenomenal, phenomenal opportunity. Well, actually, let's go back to Boeing and talk about it on the swing trade level now. As far as the swing trade is concerned, really, really good volume, and we're fast approaching the high of Boeing. So the all-time high on Boeing is approximately 144, which we could reach pretty soon. This is a very, very good breakout candle, in my opinion, on Boeing, and I would like to see some small pullback, probably tomorrow, later in the day maybe, or sometime next week, and then buy that bounce as we trade to that target of 144.37, which should be hit pretty soon. Once and if we break out of that level, Boeing will probably be flying high in the clouds once again. Keep in mind that today, in just a few hours, I think 2 Eastern, is the FOMC meeting. So I will not be in any additional day trades today until the FOMC meeting is over. And in about 20 minutes, I'll be opening up the trading floor. And today is going to be Weeklies Wednesday, where we go and look at credit spreads or option sales that expire this Friday, hopefully for somewhere between 4 and 10%. That's kind of the returns that we look at on Weeklies Wednesday for about 2 days' work. Not too shabby. So let's look at the general market. And I'll look at one other gap that was played today. SPY, realistically, guys, is just trading in this little sideways triangle-ish type of pattern. Again, very interested to see what the FOMC meeting brings about, but we have a little bit of a lower shadow. potentially some type of morning star reversal could form because we did gap up today. So if the FOMC meeting comes in strong, I would be a tad more bullish than bearish on the SPY. Where on the weekly chart looks pretty decently. So I'm just kind of waiting for this congestion to play out, trade out, and then potentially pop a little bit higher. So not much has changed on the overall indices. The DIA, pretty much the same thing. High wave candle yesterday, lower wick today. Let's see if we form a morning star after the FOMC meeting. And if we do, I'd be more bullish than bearish. QQQs look decent. Again, a little congestion phase. Just kind of waiting for it to break out. And IWM, that's the only indices trade that I'm in, is the IWM. I'm in a bull put spread, a 112, 111 expiring on this pink line, which is the third Friday of February. So I'm not going to concern myself with that spread unless we close below 114.20 on the hour. I don't expect us to, but we definitely could. And I will be keeping my eyes on that. X, which is United States Steel. Gotta give a good shout out to Julie Coleman. Julie Coleman, who's a Nashville, Tennessee real life trader, traded this one for about 2R and some change. And this was a really, really good retest gap. It was a good retest gap because prior candle was white. So we talked about if we gapped up above 23.26, it would be a retest gap. So here's 23.26, gapped above it, and here's your 5-minute chart. 5-minute chart, boom, boom, shazam. Pulled into the 10, bounced, entry, stop, home run. Babe Ruth style. I love it. Great day for day trading, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are just absolutely crushing it. If you ever want to get more education on how to trade these gaps and how to day trade, there is a really cool website out there. I've heard of it. I heard some crazy team of people created it and are giving away free information on how to day trade. All they have to do is type in reallifetrading.com, come to where it says day trading, click on that tab, and they're going to come to this page which teaches people how to day trade for free. Nuts, I know, but I prefer macadamian. I'll see you guys Friday. Until then, remember, love life, live life, and trade it. You guys have a great day.